I know, guys. I know. I said that I was done with on Jaystation videos, and well, now, so is he. That's right, everybody's least favorite vlogger has left the platform for good. But why? And is he ever gonna come back? Find out that and more on today's episode of Internet Tidbits. If you're new to the channel, or this is your first episode of Internet Tidbits, it's just a little show I like to do on a very non-defined basis, where I talk about all sorts of various internet stuff that really isn't big enough for its own video. So let's jump on in and get this started. Back to the matter at hand. Jaystation has actually quit the website, finally, honestly. About 2 weeks ago now, he uploaded a video titled Goodbye, in which he apologizes for a lot of the stuff he has done, and talks about how he has removed some of the worst content off his channel, which, I mean, at the time of recording, the slave video is still up, so like, I'm not really sure what he's talking about there. I'm saying that's a little controversial, and probably one of the worst videos on his channel, but you know, that's just me talking. I don't know what Jaystation thinks. I bet you're wondering why he would leave his YouTube channel, and why he would apologize for any of the content he's made. I mean, after all, he hasn't showed any remorse regarding any of his myriad of terrible content before now. Let me tell you, there are two very different, very serious reasons for his sudden decision. But before we get into that, let me interrupt to say that a lot of you watching right now are not subscribed, and that's a shame. A little over half of the people who watch my content don't subscribe, so let me ask you to subscribe if you like the content. As a growing creator, there is nothing that helps out more than just knowing that people enjoy your content. There are 3 easy ways that you can let me know you're liking what you see. Number 1 is leave a comment. Number 2, leave a like, and number 3 is subscribe. If you do any of those 3 things, thank you very much and welcome to the community. Plus, if you leave a comment, I like to read every comment that's left on my videos, and I respond to most of them, so feel free to talk to me down there. Anyway, let's get back to Jaystation and why he actually left YouTube. The first reason is that he was arrested. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. The whole warrant for his arrest was just a plot point that Jay made up in his massive dead girlfriend prank video storyline. But no, I'm serious, guys. He was actually arrested. Seriously. According to the independent.co.uk, in an article titled YouTube star Jaystation arrested after faking girlfriend's death to gain subscribers, which is an amazing article title coming from the Independent, they reported that the YouTube star Jaystation, real name Jason Ethier, has been arrested after confessing to faking his girlfriend's death to gain subscribers. The arrest for assault and assault with a weapon happened on Monday, the 3rd of February, and then it later goes on to read that he's scheduled to appear in court on the 16th of March. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I think that Jaystation could make some pretty good content from jail. We bought a haunted shank off the prison's dark web, or haunted Elmo came to visit me at visiting hours for a conjugal visit gone wrong. I guess we'll never get the chance to see that since he quit. And realistically, I don't really know what the weapon was that he's accused of using, because the charge is assault with a weapon, but that's kind of wild, right? Like, that's a big charge to go up against a, 3 a.m. YouTuber. And then the second reason is that YouTube took the step of demonetizing his entire channel. Now, they were trying to avoid an adpocalypse. We've had plenty of adpocalypse before. You probably know what it is, but let me go over it for those of you who don't. An adpocalypse is when there's some kind of big controversy that causes advertisers to pull off of YouTube. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I read an article titled YouTube star Jaystation arrested after faking girlfriend's death to gain subscribers. Now, those kind of articles are not great at all, especially for YouTube and their PR front. So obviously they wanted to put the fires out, and this is something that they do not do often. In fact, this is one of the rarest punishments that YouTube ever dishes out. I'd go so far to say that this is YouTube's anti-adpocalypse emergency measure. When a YouTuber messes up so bad that it's causing such a huge PR blunder for the entire site, this is their response. The actual policy that lets them do this was literally made in response to Logan Paul's infamous Forest video. It lets them take action to protect the whole of the site, creators, viewers, and advertisers, even when a YouTuber's actions do not explicitly violate any of the guidelines as written, but the broader impact of their actions can negatively affect the site. Like I said, that's super rare. That doesn't happen very often, guys. I'm saying guys like Jaystation. But it surprises me, though, how long it took in this case, because there were already articles coming out. We all knew about this. I've made a couple videos about some of the awful things that were on his channel, and he's been a ticking time bomb of bad PR for so long. But this incident finally pushed it over the edge. This is a guy that makes horror content featuring children's characters and makes videos claiming to buy literal people off the dark web. How no one at YouTube took notice of this before it got this far is well beyond me. Realistically, I think the actual reason for Jay's taking a hiatus is probably because of the demonetization. Don't get me wrong, I just don't see him as the kind of guy to really care too much about a charge. I mean, I'm just saying, just based off what I get from him, I don't think that would stop him, but I do think that the demonetization would 100% cause him to stop, because realistically, I think that Jaystation was in it for the money. I mean, that's just my opinion. You can have your own opinion. I'm basing it off my own personal understanding of Jaystation that I've got from the videos that I've watched on his channel, none of which have been, exemplary content. And for some reason, whenever I think that it's possible that he's being sincere, that he wanted to quit and apologize because he knew he went too far, there's just a thing in my head that goes, no way. This is Jaystation we're talking about. There's no way he's doing that. And And that thought reconfirms my thinking. I mean, the dude didn't stop posting during the whole drama with Alexia, even posting a video afterwards that kinda seemed like he was making fun of her. In a video titled, "I bought a new girlfriend off the dark web," insane. He has a girl show up to his house and act all crazy, saying she wants a YouTube channel of her own for money, and just a whole bunch of subtle jabs that I assume are for Alexia. As far as I'm concerned though, YouTube is just such a better place without Jaystation. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm sure he's a nice guy, but I mean, I'm not entirely sure about that, especially after these charges, but all I'm gonna say is, I think that with less content like Jaystation's, YouTube as a whole is a safer place for creators and for pretty much anybody. I do kind of hope that we see a redemption arc in his future, because let's face it, if I didn't have people like Jaystation to talk about, YouTube would be a hell of a lot more boring. In other news, live from my Twitter timeline, I was shocked to find out who Belle Delphines' new boyfriend is. Or rather, who it isn't, because I saw a tweet, it was retweeted onto my timeline by some random person, and it basically read, "What more proof do we need that we're all living in a simulation than the fact that at Prison Planet is now dating Belle Delphine?" Which kind of blew my mind for a minute, because if you don't know who Prison Planet is, he's a British right-leaning journalist who talks a lot about the culture war. And I'm pretty sure he's spoken out against Belle Delphine in the past because he doesn't agree with her, unique style. I could see Watson drinking some of Belle's bathwater, but I really couldn't imagine that this couple were actually real. So I dug a little deeper, and I looked at Watson's Twitter. He quote tweeted the tweet, and just read the words, "This is categorically untrue." So it looks like the rumors of their love are just that, rumors. And despite how hilarious that relationship would be, it just goes to show that you really can't trust anybody randomly on Twitter. Who knew? So if you see anybody talking about how they're dating, it's just not true. And then our last story today is also coming to us straight from my Twitter timeline. You may be familiar with the famous YouTuber JackSucksAtLife, who recently went viral when he tried to get YouTube to send him a play button award that he hadn't earned by buying it. Well, his editor and YouTuber Kai Ross Best was suspended from Twitter. What did he do? What was his crime to get suspended from Twitter? No, he didn't say anything mean, he didn't scam people, or even have a little lighthearted bit of trolling. No, it's worse than that. This guy had the absolute stones to play guitar on Twitter. That's right, he was suspended for playing his guitar. Well, technically though, he was playing copyrighted songs, but I don't know if that should really be bannable because, you know, it's covers. I don't know. I'm not a copyright lawyer. He was trying to share his progress as he got better at guitar, so I don't think that that's like a huge deal, but apparently the companies do. And personally though, I think I would take it as a compliment if I was Kai, because let me tell you, if they were able to copyright strike it, that means he must be a pretty good guitar player, because those systems are not the best. I mean, they're pretty good. If they can pick it up, that means you're probably pretty good, because you're pretty close to the original. I don't really know if taking down his Twitter account is justified, but I just wanted to mention it because it's kind of like the copyright issues that we deal with here on YouTube all the time. For some reason, copyright on the internet just hasn't caught up. The copyright holders, they just don't understand the internet culture. They don't know how the internet works. All these old people, they can't figure it out. It's gonna get worse in a couple of years once Article 13 goes through and what remains of the EU in a few years. I mean, I bet we're gonna have a lot more cases like this coming down the pipeline. And that's it for the news today. Is there a story that I missed or something that you want me to talk about? If so, let me know down below. Also, let me know your thoughts on the topics we covered today. Oh, and remember to like and subscribe. As I said earlier, that's the best thing you can do to help a growing YouTuber. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you.